Hi, I'm Phil Pajali. My pronouns are he and him. I am currently working at the Crestwood branch of the Yonkers Public Library, but I will soon be at the Riverfront branch, and then later in the summer I will be at the Will branch.
What made you want to work in a library, and what led you to the current position you're in?
I've always loved libraries. I visited them when I was very young, and always enjoyed reading and going to libraries and taking out books. There are librarians in my family also, and my mom was a school librarian, and both of my siblings are librarians. There was always that interest in my family, and it's something that always captured my attention since I was a kid. And in high school, I did work in a library as a page.
What are your favorite and least favorite things about working in a library?
My favorite thing about working in a library is being able to help people get the information that they need. And that could be a book or a research article from a database, or something comparatively easier to get, like a tax form or a bus schedule. But anything that they're looking for, if I can get that for them, that's my favorite part of the job. My least favorite is when a patron, for whatever reason, cannot get to some service or resource that we have, or something is inaccessible. For example, if it's like a book or DVD that just isn't available, that hasn't come out yet. If it's like a TV show that they really want to see that hasn't even been produced on DVD, their disappointment is one of my least favorite things about the position.
In what ways does YPL interact with and provide services to the larger Yonkers community?
Well, one way Yonkers Library does that is by partnering with organizations. For example, NORC, which is a service that's set up to help seniors age in their homes, age in place within the Yonkers area. So the library has been doing a lot of programs with NORC, particularly on Zoom, to support those people, those seniors. So for example, we were doing like a regular weekly bingo game. That was a partnership between Yonkers Library and the NORC.
What do you wish more people knew about YPL and libraries in general?
One thing that I wish some of the patrons knew more about is what we have available online. There are patrons that are not even aware that we have electronic books that they could get through our website, ypl.org, audiobooks. They could stream movies. We have a subscription to Canopy, for example, and all of our learning and educational resources that we have online, for example, Learning Express. I do try to promote those tools as much as possible with the patrons.
What are some passion projects you've curated at YPL?
Well, one of my passion projects was this regular author talk series where I speak to different writers, poets, prose writers, fiction writers, but also there have been some nonfiction writers as well. There was somebody who wrote a book about business plans for nonprofits. I just like and enjoy talking to writers about their whole process and how they develop a book, where they get their ideas from, etc.
What is your idea of perfect happiness?
There are a few different things that bring happiness, perfect happiness to me, but one of them is when I'm writing something and I just get into the mode and I'm able to shut everything else out and just focus completely on what I'm doing, and I get a rhythm going. That's one example of perfect happiness for me.
What or who is the greatest love of your life?
The greatest love of my life is my wife, Christina.
If you were to die and come back as a person or thing, what would it be?
I love cats. So, when I first thought of this question, that was the first thing that popped into my mind. I mean, I have no idea what it would be like to live as a cat, but I just feel like when I'm around cats that I really understand them, and maybe they understand me, so I would pick a cat.
Who is your hero of fiction?
Well, when I was a kid, I read a series of books called Nate the Great, about a boy detective, and that was a character that was close to me and kind of got my imagination going, and I wanted to be that character. So that would probably be my first hero of fiction.
Who are your favorite writers?
Well, I read a lot of crime fiction, so some of my favorite writers are David Goodis, Cornell Woolrich, and Donald E. Westlake.